Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Sunday morning, the 24th of December. Santa Claus is coming tonight. If you've been good all year, that is. But let me take the opportunity to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a great New Year. I'll see you way before New Year, but there won't be a video tomorrow. That's why I'm wishing you Merry Christmas right now. What you're seeing on your screen is footage from episode 23 of Cold Case Christmas, the Keddy murders. The final episode of Cold Case Christmas will be out tonight, 6 p.m. UK time, and it's the disappearance of 6-year-old Timothy Pitson from Illinois. There is also a bonus episode of Cold Case Christmas as well on the 26th. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is the forgotten missing men. It's a kind of a follow-on from yesterday's video where I talked about the 3 women who have been now found in rivers and the psychological phenomenon that makes us think that there's a pattern there. So go and check out yesterday's video if you don't know what on earth I'm talking about. But I want to talk about one particular forgotten man today. And his situation is very, very similar to that of Nicola Bulley. Let's go. And, yeah, it is this dark, actually. I've got the curtains wide open. I'm right in front of a window, but it really is this dark. Anyway, this man is James Paton. I came across this case a while ago when I was doing Finn Creaney, and then I've done a bunch of missing persons cases from Scotland, because Police Scotland have a very nice website with all their missing people on it. And I came across James's case and I was intrigued by it, but I couldn't find out very much information about it. I mean, maybe I just didn't look very far, but this is James. He's been missing since the 23rd of December 2019. So 4 years yesterday. So he's been missing for 4 years and 1 day. What happened? Well, I'm going to read what Police Scotland says, and then we're going to break it all down, given some further information that I've found. And I'll show you the map and everything so it becomes clearer. Police in Bewley, in Scotland, renew appeal 1 year after last sighting of James Paton. So, of course, now it's 4 years. Officers in Bewley, and the police haven't updated for 3 years, so presumably they haven't got any more information either. Officers in Bewley are continuing to appeal for information regarding the whereabouts of a 73-year-old James Paton 1 year on from when he was reported missing from his home in Bewley. So I think he was 72 when he disappeared, and they're talking a year in, so 73 now. James Paton was seen around 1:30 p.m. on Monday, 23rd of December 2019, driving his silver, does that say Dacia Duster, at Ruttle Woods near the River Bewley, where he was going to walk his dog. His car was traced there at 4:30 that afternoon with his Spaniel Cross Collie dog inside, but there was no trace of Mr. Paton. So he's 5'8", of stocky build, with grey hair and a beard, wears glasses, and when he was last seen, he was wearing black trousers with a purple jumper, so sweater, green fleece jacket and brown boots. Sergeant Brian Bissett of Bewley Police Station said Mr. Paton was reported missing 1 year ago, so it's now 4 years ago. Extensive inquiries and rigorous land and water searches have been carried out in order to trace him. However, despite our efforts, he is still missing. During our searches, we have been assisted by specialist resources, including police dogs, our dive and marine unit, Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, so that's a Dundonald Mountain Rescue Team, His Majesty's Coast Guard helicopter, and members of the local community. So there's been a lot of people. People in 2019 came out in droves on Christmas Day to search for James. This is a very upsetting time for Mr. Paton's family. We remain committed to finding James and would urge the local community, who have been very supportive, to continue to assist us by passing on any information which could help our investigation. Our inquiries to locate him are continuing, and we will be following up on any information we receive. I would again appeal to anyone with information that may assist us in our investigation, no matter how insignificant it may seem, to contact 101 quoting reference 311 of 23rd of December 2019. His family would like to pass on their heartfelt thanks to the agencies and people who have helped in the search for him, adding, "We miss Jim dearly and are extremely upset that a year has now passed with no sign of him. We are very grateful for the support and concern shown to us by our local community and hope that this anniversary appeal may jog someone's memory and urge anyone with information to contact police, as it could be crucial in locating him." This is James. That's a very jovial chap, doesn't he? All right, so what part of the world are we talking? All right, well, here is Bulley. Here's Bulley. And this is the River Bulley. The River Bulley feeds into the Bulley Firth, Moray Firth, and then the North Sea. So we're right up the top of Scotland. Well, not quite. Okay, so it's in the Highlands of Scotland. So that's where we're talking about. So where Jim, his family call him Jim, was last seen was a little bit further south. So he drove down here about 3.7 miles to the south side of the river. He parked his vehicle somewhere between Fanelon Farm, because the source I'm going to show you in a minute says he parked on Fanelon Farm Road, but there isn't such a road. And then there's Ruttle Woods. So there's all these little like wooded areas that have their own little names, and then some farmland and a castle. It's not an actual castle, it's just a big house. Also, interestingly and alarmingly, there's a hydroelectric dam just a little bit upstream of where he was last seen. So as I said, I couldn't find very much information about James's case when I first looked. Maybe I didn't look far enough. However, perhaps it's because this thread on Reddit wasn't there when I looked, because it definitely is more than 6 months ago since I last had a look at this case. And there's more information and some photos of things that are of interest. And also information from a local person who lives in the village, who knows exactly how that dog was found, the Collie Cross Spaniel. On December 23rd, 2019, James Paton's car was found with his dog inside, but James was never seen again. So it repeats some of the same information. Last seen around 1:30, driving his Duster on Fanelon Farm Road near Ruttle Woods on the south side of the River Bulley. The newly released CCTV image was taken at a filling station in his home village of Bulley, which is 3.7 miles or thereabouts north of where he was going to walk his dog, a short time before his final sighting. So this is what the police have released. So this definitely wasn't out when I looked at James's case. So that's what James was wearing, green fleece jacket, and what's he got there? He's got a newspaper. So he's going to read a newspaper. So he's not thinking of ending his own life, is he? If he's going to read a newspaper. All right, so that's a plan for the future. Obviously, very near future, inconsequential, but in James's mind, in his mindset, he's not suicidal, in my opinion. Alright, and then around 4:30 his car was traced with his Spaniel Cross Collie dog inside. No trace of James. Okay. His vehicle was found near Upper Fanelon, parked on a track about 3 miles from Kiltallity, which is here. So, maybe a little bit up here, I'm not sure. But so come from here, come down here to the south side. Maybe it's a little bit closer to the river than what this has given me. And then his car was found about 3 miles from this village. So maybe up here somewhere, or maybe over here. I'm not sure. But this person says, that's where I think his car was found. Also, people who undertook the search took the path you can see in the photo, which continues towards Ruttles Woods, bypassing the farm called Upper Wester Fanelon on the right. Alright, so this is where this person thinks his car was found. The exact location of his car, I don't think matters. We just want the general vicinity. What could have happened to James? Well, it's an interesting question. And people are commenting here. Some of them, I'm going to say, in my opinion, are not true. I mean, all suggestions are welcome, but not that I run this subreddit or anything, but I'm just saying. It's relatively weird that the dog was found in the car because it implies that either he'd never started the walk or he successfully finished the walk. I don't see why he'd have left the dog in the car and walked far enough away to then be unfindable, which is true. Tell me more about the river nearby. Is it the type of river that would be dangerous? Potentially. Because if we go down to the bridge, which James would have driven over if he came this way, if he came the way that Google has given me. This is the hydroelectric dam. That's an ugly piece of machinery in a beautiful spot. The river's quite wide and it's only a few miles to the sea. So it's flowing this way. So if he fell in, he's going to be in the sea pretty quickly. I don't know what the aim of this dam is. Anybody in the local area tell me what the aim of this dam is, if they got that far. Now, I don't think you can fall over without wanting to fall over. It is fenced. If you walk back this way. But like I said, I don't think he jumped in my opinion. At the age of 72, a sudden medical event, yeah, could happen. This person makes a good point, but I don't necessarily think this is true. That breed of dog would be pretty high energy. If someone had stopped him for whatever reason, it would be reasonable for him to put the dog in the car before dealing with whatever the other person wanted, or left the dog on purpose and walked off. Well, if he's taking the dog, put the dog back in the car and then just walked away with some random person, I don't know. I don't see a crime here. I don't see any evidence of a crime. And I don't see any evidence that he was suicidal. Spaniel Cross Collie. Now, we don't know how old the dog was. If the dog was old, then no, it's probably not going to be high energy. But if it's a young dog, yeah, I would think so. I'd also think that dog is highly intelligent, right? Presumably, we're talking about a Border Collie crossed by maybe a Cocker Spaniel or a Springer Spaniel. If it's a Border Collie cross Springer Spaniel, I would imagine that dog is very, very intelligent. Some people are saying maybe he went in the woods to have a wash or to wash his boots. So went to the river to wash his boots and fell in, but put the dog away because he didn't want the dog to get muddy again. How did he clean the dog? To put the dog in his car, how did he clean the dog? And then not have enough water left to wash his boots. I know there's these like mobile dog washers and stuff, but would you really want to wash your boots? Do you live in a city? Do you? Right. Okay. I'm not being mean. So here's a photo that shows the distance between where the car was found and Bewley River. Alright, so this is just a Google image. So apparently, according to this person, the car was found here. So there's the dam There's the bridge that we've just been at. Here's a map indicating that there is a hydroelectric dam on the Bulley River. Here's a picture of this dam. Like I said, that's an ugly piece of machinery, but look at that river. Look at what that dam is doing to that river, churning it all up. And that's very close to where James possibly could have walked to. Stranger left his dog in the car rather than the house if it was intentional. Again, another reason why I don't think it was intentional. Now, we get to somebody called Holiday Injury, who is in the village. As someone from the village, the dog was found in the car because the window was open and there was a trail of mud on the outside of the door, which makes it widely believed the dog climbed back in himself or herself. As I said, Spaniel, cross collie. If we're talking about a Springer cross border collie, yeah, that's going to be highly intelligent. That's going to be highly, highly intelligent. I know that Scotland is super safe. Nowhere's super safe, not where there's a river. I think you probably mean super safe from crime. Okay, so Holiday Injury is back. His wife was my primary school teacher. This is most likely nothing but a terrible accident and he's in the river. I agree. The window was open to the car with a trail of mud on the outside. The dog jumped back in. It's most likely a case of an old Highland guy having some medical emergency on a walk and falling into the river, unfortunately. What's happened here? Why has it done a big loop? So James was seen. I think his car was parked here. Right, this is what the Redditor's saying. So if his car was parked here, so he's seen on this road, or this road, probably this road actually, around 1:30. But his car isn't found until 4:30. So if he got out of his car, maybe shortly after 1:30, did a walk to the river, not going to take him more than half an hour, if that, probably a lot less, and fell in the river. So he was gone by 2 or just after. My speculation, having now heard from someone in the village who knows that there was mud on the outside of the car and knows that that dog jumped back in the car, I think that dog waited at the river and then realised that James wasn't coming back. Because dogs don't understand moving water. Realised James wasn't coming back. So traced the route back to the car. Because maybe the dog thought, well, this human sometimes leaves me in the car. Because maybe he leaves the dog in the car when he goes in the shop or something like that. This is the middle of winter. There's no chance of the dog overheating or anything like that, as somebody suggested in these comments on Reddit. And the dog thought, well, sometimes he leaves me in the car and then he comes back. So I think that dog very intelligently went back to the car thinking he's going to come back if I go to the car. How sad's that? How sad is that? But I think that dog waited where James fell in the river and got so anxious, thought, I need another plan. No one around, and went back to the car. If no one had found Willow in the Nicola Bulley case, what would Willow have done? I've always wondered that. And I think Willow would have gone back to the car. She'd have retraced her steps back to the car. I think. So yeah, once again, this is James. He's been missing for 4 years and 1 day. And if you do have any information though, contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting reference 3111 of 23rd of December 2019. A forgotten man. Many, many of them missing. The river monster serial killer, quite possibly, struck again. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Merry Christmas to you and yours once again from me and mine. And I'll see you later over on Michelle Walks for Cold Case Christmas, the disappearance of Timothy Pitson. And then I won't see you tomorrow, but then I'll be back in 2 days' time on the 26th with a bonus Cold Case Christmas, which is the Milk Carton Kids, and I'll also have a video on this channel. Bye guys.